Hello, everybody. Welcome to the YNTAAY Minis. This is the Vie Boheme edition because we're here to talk about the 20th anniversary of Rent, our family's favorite musical. At least I think it's our favorite musical. What do you all think?
I think it definitely has been a big part of our family, for sure.
This is Sharon Joanne Frances Zuckerwar, aka Sharita, my niece. And this is Jim Smith, my brother. And this is Jeanette Francis. She's my sister. There were going to be puppets here, but it's too cold on this April day where we're celebrating 20 years of Rent. Sharita, what do you remember about the first time you saw Rent?
So you and I went to New York City in '96 when it was opening, and we saw it at the Nederlander, and we didn't buy our tickets at the same time, so we weren't sitting together.
I was over here and she was over here
I
in
think
the
I was
balcony.
way up here in the balcony, and it was the first season, right, the first year.
Just a couple of months after it
And
opened.
they had not quite figured out all of the acoustics just yet. So I know that I sat very excited, listened, and hung on every word and could not understand half of it. And
The music sounded great,
you
but
couldn't hear
but the dialogue sounded like.
So there were big gaping holes in my understanding of the story, but even with that, I loved it. And then you and I met at the intermission over a beverage,
And we
were like, "What's happening? I don't understand. I can't hear them." And so we tried to put the pieces together.
The show was created by Jonathan Larson, who died a few months before the show opened on Broadway. He died the day that it was opening off Broadway after dress rehearsals.
And the other memory I have too is that in 2001, July 2001, when we went again and we saw Jonathan Larson's story, Tick Tick Boo. I thought that was
we love Tick Tick
very
Boom.
powerful.
This is not a
powerful
picture
story.
of. Jim Smith, what did you think when you first heard the music of Rent?
The thing about Rent, Chris brought it to us, and it was, so it's just sheer rock and roll. It just sucked us in. The whole family was just involved, which thrilled Chris because he was the Broadway guy, and the fact that we opened up to that, and it led us to other things, But the life lesson here is that it teaches you to be open to new things. And, it led us to Wicked, which is one of my favorites also. But I eventually got to see Rent in Charleston at the Clay Center. And so, no, that's wrong. My cameraman saying it's wrong. Where did we see it?
The Municipal Auditorium.
At the Municipal Auditorium. So, but it was in Charleston, but we did get to see it. And, it was just thrilling to see it. So I did see Wicked in New York, and that was thrilling as well.
This is my Rent scarf that says 525,600. They only had one, or I would have bought one for everybody.
That would have been nice. I'd like to have that on right now.
On this nice April day.
On this balmy April.
Yes. And Jeanette, when did you first see Rent?
First saw it in '97 after you introduced us and got us all on fire for it. The first time I couldn't really understand what they were saying. The second time we saw it, I think I saw it 2 or 3 times in one visit. The second time we were in the 3rd row, and we were so close that we had no idea what was going on the left side of the stage. But when Angel was drumming, Angel's drumstick came right down at our feet, and we thought, "Oh yay!" But Angel came after the scene and took it away.
We had to give it back.
The 3rd time we went, we were seated dead center in perfect seats, and I took one of my friends who had refused to go see it because she thought it was an abomination to God.
Abomination. But
Yes.
she loved it.
She loved it, and afterwards she said, "Oh, I'm so glad you took me to see Rent. It was wonderful." And I love it to this day. I don't know about her, but I do.
Well, I still love it. It's one of my favorite
Mine too.
shows.
Yep.
And it won the Pulitzer Prize. It won the Tony for Best Musical. It won so many things, and it played for many years. I think it just now it was the 10th longest running show, and now Wicked has passed it up, so it's the 11th longest running show in Broadway history.
Did you mention about Jonathan Larson, him passing? That added to
Yes, poor Jonathan
bittersweet.
Larson. It did make it a bittersweet
Hashtag, you will.
show that he was not there to see the success, but I think that he can see it wherever he is. So
I think think one of our best family movies
Oh.
is actually on this picnic table.
This is the reason we're at this picnic
We actually
table.
performed most of the songs of Rent.
Don't do that.
Most of the songs of Rent standing on this picnic table. We had lots of fun doing that.
Yes, we did.
And we'll insert a picture now.
If
Maybe
we
if
know
we can figure out how to
how.
edit that in. We have pictures of that.
And some of the family at the family reunion thought that we were abominations for dancing on a picnic table while singing
And
La
to
Vie
a
Boheme.
point, we are.
Exactly.
Yes.
Well, I think this has been a very successful look back at Rent, our favorite Broadway musical. And we're happy that it exposed a closed-minded family to other shows as well, just as Jonathan Larson wanted, because it
Yes.
opened up the door to other things.
Try not to be judgmental and close-minded.
Absolutely.
Right.
And remember,
Wine
no
and
day,
beer.
wine and beer.
And 525,600 minutes, I think, is a really important lesson because it does remind you to be intentional about how you live your life. So that's a
And
good
wine and
and
beer.
wine and beer.
Okay, we should shout, Viva la
La
Vie
Boheme.
Boheme! Huh. Okay, goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.